ibuprofen is one of the leading causes for some of the people that's dying, because you gotta think when March and the COVID hit, people was dropping like flies, and they said ibuprofen was bad to take. Man, I was popping ibuprofens like
boy. This is my first time hearing that.
Yes. When I first got it, somebody reached out. They sent me the link, and it was somebody, I don't even know who sent it. I was like, what? I was scared in a mug because
so if you had to make a guess, bro, by that point in time, how many ibuprofens you think you had to take? Bro, ibuprofens are not good to take with the coronavirus.
But that was in March. They said that. I heard it on the news.
Bro, what?
Yes, I was in a state where I didn't understand what was going on.
Right.
So what I'm gonna do? Reach out to what I understand.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I'm like, man, I'm about to die. You know what I'm saying? Then it got to the point where I was taking ibuprofen and it still wasn't doing that. It got worse. It got worse. And then one moment, mind you,
when you saying it's getting worse, because
it was like,
Jacoby,
okay,
people gonna be listening to you talk about this, bro.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful. You can't say I'm about to die.
That's true.
When you say you about to die, bro, please.
That's what I felt. That's what I felt.
How
like.
did you feel like that?
Okay, so at first,
dying is an extreme, bro.
Okay, let's well, I'll break it down like this, man.
Everyone has secrets. The definition of a secret is something private that we don't want other people to know about. Well, I want to talk about everything on my podcast. Kind of like snitching, but not really snitching. Racism, bullying, incest, lack of culture, religion, sports, politics, interracial dating, sexism, gender inequality, etc. For many of those topics, people don't like to talk about and like to keep their opinions to themselves, like secrets. And if they do talk about it for some of those topics, especially racism and politics, people won't be completely honest about it because of what they believe the backlash will be. So therefore, they try to be politically correct.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Bro, this year, 2020, has been easily the craziest year, the most unorthodox year, the wildest year of my life. I'm only 26, bro. I just turned 26, but that don't change the type of year that we've had, all right? It does not change the type of year we've had. When you talk about the year of death, the year of unemployment, bro. The year of disappointment, bro. The year of confusion, bro. I swear on everything that I've ever loved, man. It's like this year has been the year of the Twilight Zone. It's like, bro, it's like we all been living in a movie. Honestly, bro, it kind of feels like I Am Legend. Y'all remember that movie with Will Smith, I Am Legend? I swear it feels like that, bro. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Like 2-3 months ago, I sent out this text to my friend, a good friend of mine, and I was telling her, I was like, man, this year I'm gonna speak for everybody. All right. If you 30, 40, 50, 80, I'm speaking for you too. This has been the craziest year for everybody. Everybody. Yeah, I know I can't speak for everybody, but I'm doing it. This is the craziest year for everybody. And I done spoke to all sorts of people. Grandmas, grandfathers, great-grandmothers, great-grandfathers out there, uncles, older cousins. I spoke to everybody, bro.
And they saying the same thing.
Everybody's saying the same thing. There's never been a year like this. When you want to start, I mean, from Kobe Bryant dying, from this police brutality, bro, so many things that's happened this year that I don't even remember, bro. And you talk about the Spanish flu and all those things that happened way before I was born. I don't know what that was like, but I know what the coronavirus is like. And when you talk about the coronavirus, bro, you talking about a virus that we've heard all these conspiracy theories. You have all these people who have all these doubts about if it was real or not. I'm not sure if anybody's questioning that anymore. People still have their doubts. But I was probably one of those people at the very beginning. What I wasn't, though, was one of those people who felt like black people can't get it.
I want that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But man, it's August. It's late August now. It was officially an epidemic before it was a pandemic in March. That's when it first came, or when it legit got serious, and they started to shut everything down. And we was like, nobody really knew how serious it was, how bad it was, until the colleges started getting shut down. And when they officially announced that the NBA was discontinued, come on, bro. Now you messing with I ain't even gonna say, you messing with some other people's money now.
Right.
You talking about the NBA, bro, multi-billion-dollar industry. Since March, my executive director, the boss at my second job, she got the coronavirus. I really shouldn't say coronavirus because this is a new strand of the coronavirus. So she got COVID-19. Her husband got COVID-19. My homie Ishma and his old lady got COVID. I've met a ton of people who's been tested for it because they thought they had it. You talk about I even knew a guy who I didn't have a personal relationship with. My homie Ishma did. Right. From Conway, went to UCA, who allegedly, according to what his family and friends are saying, close friends are saying, this man passed away from it. Right. Now, he had pre-existing conditions as far as health conditions. He was a bigger guy. He wasn't really just like bloated, right, but he was just a bigger guy.
So you think that's why it was more?
I think that played a role. So when you talk about that, bro, when you got all this stuff happening and then you come out, you hear, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell and these quote unquote famous people. These people are making millions of dollars a year. It's like, all right, bro, it's a little bit more than a conspiracy theory now. Now, again, it's okay to question certain things. I'm not questioning that, and I'm willing to have that conversation with anybody. But as far as like something happening here, there's definitely something here, bro. There's no questioning if there's a virus. There's a virus. Now, if you want to question how I got here and what the agendas are, you can have those conversations. But another one that really struck home for me really, really early was this person who, I'm not close friends with this guy either. Every time I see him, real cool dude. He's really known, if you really want me to be completely honest, is what I knew about him. If I ain't know nothing else, he was super cool all the time. He was known for dressing really nice. Like he got, a lot of, I guess swag is out of style. So I'll say he got a lot of sauce. But most importantly, he could dance really, really well. I remember one time, we was actually at Bears Den, and Ishma is a really good friend of mine. This is like my third time saying his name already. Right. But Ishma had told me, he was like, bro, I don't know, I had been to Bears Den a bunch of times before, but Ishma was like, we was dancing and stuff, and Ishma stopped. He was like, bro, if you ever thought I could dance, bro, watch this dude dance. And I was like, who? And I turn around, and it's this guy, one of the only guys in the entire, party, if you will, who had a hat on. Right. So I'm like, this guy, okay. And he started to dance, and the rest is history. The dude.
But the crazy thing about it, bro, I wasn't even dancing like I was.
You don't even know what tonight I'm talking about.
But still, though, back then, because it's around the time, first of all, you got to understand, like, when I started going to the Bears Den, man, I didn't even go out like that. I went out, but I went out because it was free. You know what I'm saying? And I really ain't never been to the Bears Den until around the time that you are talking about. I remember.
So what you saying, this period of time, you never really just danced like that there?
I ain't gonna, yeah, never just been in.
So what's dancing to you?
Man, so when I was, I've been dancing for a long time, man. So
You know who Drew is? Drew DK? You gotta know. Do you ever watch like the people who are really big on like dancing to the most, you know what I'm saying, popular songs, dancing groups? You'll never watch that? You seem like the type to watch stuff like that for real?
I don't really watch stuff like that.
Dang, that's surprising to hear.
It just came natural to me because I always dance, bro. Like, as far as back I can remember, I've always been a dancer.
So if you had to pick a moment or a space in your life where you was legit dancing, like at your highest level.
At my highest level, I would say my highest level, just as far as dancing goes, I would say the year before I moved to Arkansas.
What year was this?
I moved here, 2010, and then I left, came back. I say that first time I left. When I was younger, man, it was in Memphis. You know, they used to call it gangster walking and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, when I was learning it, man, I feel like that was my peak because, like, I constantly, like, that's the time when YouTube was a thing and everybody that was juking, they put it on YouTube. Like, I used to always watch, I'm talking about always I always used to watch it then. Like, when I used to come down here for the summers, like, when I met my daddy, like, I started juking in Arkansas, and where I was in Clarendon, them folks was like, man, that's crazy. Like, I could call them right now, they be like, yeah, that man was dance. Like, I literally would dance to any song that they put on, like, any song. Like, I say like 15 was the peak. Like, I would literally dance to anything. You know what I'm saying? And that was back in the gap where that was like the time before Young Nation.
Oh, okay.
And a little bit after Soulja Boy. But
okay.
You always
that's early, boy.
But at the same time, fool, you gotta realize, like, the gangster walking was part of, like, that culture in Memphis. Like, you knew if somebody was from Memphis and they was gangster walking just by how they did it.
Yeah.
You know, but now you can't.
Different.
But now now it's multicultural, so you can't really say that's true gangster walking because it's so multicultural. But back then, like, you would know, bro. Like, I wish I could call them right now. They would tell you, like, this man I'm talking about. And then when I started going to parties in Arkansas, like, I stayed doing it. England, what else? Stuttgart.
I used to live in Stuttgart.
Yeah. So when I was down there, then they were like, man, this man really getting down.
All my life.
Like, and then I graduated 2013, came to UCA. This one, the Young Nation, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The Young Nation and all that jump was out, and I was still dancing then, but I was at my peak around 15, 14. Like, I'm talking about areas where I went, you know, back then, MP3 players was a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the whole dancing scene, but for me, like, that was my peak. Like, I would not stop dancing. Now,
I swear, listening to this dude making me feel old, bro.
Yeah. But
back then.
But now, but look though, now dancing is like, you know, social media is a great influence, also a curse at the same time. It's like, now dancing is just like, it ain't even about, you know, the purpose no more. It's just about looking good.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So most of the dance is about looking good. So, you know, I hit the little wall. I do it now, but just to tear up, like, when parties, when cell phones was a thing, because I was going to high school parties and clubs when I was younger. So, like, cell phones,
you always stuck with the type.
Yeah, cell phones wasn't a thing. You know, back, 2013, that's when cell phones really jumped. Like, everybody was on it. But back then, like, 08, 09, when I go to parties with my cousins now, like my oldest cousin now, or I go to the county line, like, we were just it was pure fun. You know what I'm saying? It was just pure, everybody was free, everybody, you know.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Now everybody's stuck in their phone. So dancing just, that man fresh. You feel me? Let me record.
Bro, that's so bad. That's so bad because he hitting it spot on. I went, do you know what tubing is? Tubing and kneeboard. So it's where, and you've seen it before, I'm sure, but you probably know what's called this. It's when somebody attached a rope to the back of a boat on the lake somewhere.
I've never been.
And you get on the back of a tube. Whenever we get down, I'm gonna show you this video of me tubing. So I just tubed But that's the point I'm talking about. I just got finished tubing yesterday. My whole body sore. Right. It's where they attach this rope to the back of a boat. It's a whole little process so you can be super safe. You wear a life jacket. And there's a tube, like a big old donut. You know what a donut look like when you go to the pools and stuff, and people who can't swim be in the donuts. So a big tube is like, it's really big and round, except unlike a donut you can get in the middle of it and put your arms on the sides like that. But a tube, it ain't no hole in the middle. It's just the straps. You get on top of the tube, and you can they either built like a chair. So they get, you know, pretty creative with the tube. So they got a tube where it's a back and then it's a seat, just like a chair. Right. And you blow it up and it forms out like a chair. And then you sit on it, and they got these straps you can hold on to. Or you got the ones I was just explaining where it's a circle tube. There's no hole in the middle, and you lay on it. You get on your belly. It's a big old round tube, big enough for your body. You get on it, put your chest on it, hold on to the tubes, and then the boat takes off, and you got to hold on and kind of ride the waves. Right. I just did that for the first time. And instead of being focused on having fun, which I was, I wanted to make sure it was recording. They in there drowned. Bro, I'm not even lying. The first time they hooked me up, they tell you the signs that you can do, like, you do this to speed up, you do this to slow down, you do this if it's just right, and you do this to just say stop, right? He explained it to me. I bet. We started going, it's full speed, boats going stupid fast. I'm trying to tell him, record. I want to see what I look like. This is the first time. I'm 26. Y'all been doing this since y'all was 5. Right. Yeah. You know, certain families, it ain't just white people, but a lot of people, bro, who just grow up with more than a lot of us where we come from. Bro, they experience all that stuff by the time they 8.
That's a fact.
I'm 26. I ain't never in my life. My first time on a boat. Yeah. I've been on a boat before when I went to Florida, but not with like one of no personal friends type deal. I ain't never did no stuff like that before, bro. So I'm out there, the boat going, and I'm like, man, you showed me all the hand signs. What's the hand sign for record? Because I'm doing this, and I'm trying to hold on because I'm finna smack the water, and I'm doing this. They like, I don't know what he doing. What he doing? What is he saying? So finally, I just let go, fell in the water, and then they end up stopping and coming back, and I was like, I'm trying to catch my breath. I'm like, no, I was trying to tell you, record. They was like, bro, we thought you was like in trouble or something, bro. Like you was finna fall or you felt like you was gonna drown or something. Like, nah, bro. I was saying record. I was so focused on recording that I wasn't even focused on what was actually at the moment.
Bro, you weren't even focused on the purpose, man. And a lot of people, that need for attention is front and center nowadays.
Man, that's a whole. Anyways,
it used to be sacred, but
I ain't even introduced my guy. Anyways, if you don't know, this is my guy Jacoby Amos, bro. Real cool dude, real cool dude, man. Always down to earth, people's person. I've always appreciated this guy's energy. But what we talking about right now, bro, is something I didn't think we would get into, but we kind of transitioned into that. So before we get into what we're gonna eventually get into, that's a good point. But that's something I've always talked about, bro, which is the attention that people want on social media. And something I've realized, I was actually just telling myself this before you came here, bro. I said, there's in life, bro, you got to make decisions. And if you're going to be a person like who I am, right, which is I'm this, you can call it a motivational speaker, you can call it a public speaker. Right. But if you're going to be this person and you're going to be this person all the time, because I'm always positive. I'm not just like that on social media. I'm like that in real life. Right. You got to understand, Demetrius, make a choice. And I made a choice in high school, way before I became a speaker. I made a choice on who I wanted to be in life. And if you're going to be this person that call people out for doing stuff on social media for attention, if you're going to call people out for being certain ways in life just to get attention from people, understand that you're making a decision. It's either you're going to be this or you want all the girls. And what I mean by that is you got to understand whenever you become a public speaker and stuff like that, people respect you. Right. People like what you're doing. You make good money doing it, but you have to understand that you're not the rapper, bro. Right. You're not the jock. You're not the street dude. Right. You're not the girl that's gonna be like. You're not gonna be the dude that girls jumping in your DMs just throwing themselves at you. You got to make that decision, bro, because you got to understand before going into this that you're gonna have people who gonna be strolling down the TL and they're gonna see your video and they gonna that anybody can appreciate motivation because I don't care who you are. Everybody go through stuff in life. Right. But you gonna have people gonna stroll and see your video and be like, he with him. Do you always have to be positive? And they gonna keep going. I get it. I know there's people out there like that. So you gotta make a decision. And I'm the type of person, I made a decision. Right. So when I see stuff like when I'm strolling down my TL and I see the same girl posting the same thirst trap pic.
I know what you're talking about, G. I know what you're talking about.
Really? But if a guy only refers to you or treats you like you're a piece of meat, right? Jacoby, it's a problem, bro.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say it's a problem.
It's
problematic. Cause
I'm not saying her directly. I'm saying if you talk to, like, for example, if you come out and you say that, like, on some generalization stuff, if you say that females in general, are all they care about is showing off their bodies, or it's like they one-dimensional thinkers. Right. Women would get pissed off, as they should, because all women aren't like that. Right. But even the women who are like that don't like it when you say it out loud. Wrong or right? Am I right or wrong?
I'm not a right or wrong person. I'm about understanding. So,
okay.
But I feel like at the same time, you hitting something that needs to be said. One, if your intentions ain't good, they don't mean well. One thing that I've seen, or one thing that I've noticed over years, I've been trained to study habits, behaviors, context. The whole circumstance of the female and trying to, post a body or thirst trap is what they would say. We've been having this conversation for centuries, just like the racism, all that. So it really just falls down to your intentions as an individual, like your purpose. I see a lot of females do or post that, booty picture, but will have a slogan that's supposed to be motivational under it. You know what I'm saying? That's why fake love is a real thing now, because we don't know how to make those boundaries with purpose and what is you trying to do. Just like you said, am I doing this for this, or am I doing this to get the girls?
Right.
It's hard to make that distinction nowadays because everybody's trying to figure that out, but do something at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I say it's problematic, not a problem, because it's always been there. It's just shown different in this day and time. It's just like the cohort effect, what they call in psychology. You know what they do. You know what I'm saying? It just look different now. But that's always been there. It's problematic.
But you just said something, and I really like it if you touched on it. You said it's like a female posting something on social media, right, a booty pic,
right,
but the caption is something motivational.
Right.
You think that's okay?
Again, I'm not a woman.
Don't do that, bro. It ain't about being a woman. I'm saying you gonna post a booty picture, but then say something motivational. We know that the picture isn't about.
But it's about understanding. It's a lot of women that don't know how to present themselves in a way. And so what some women do, especially when they got power, the power of influence, they try to motivate them through the woman's eyes. And as men, all we can do is critique it. We don't understand that. So I don't allow myself to try to understand that because I'm not a woman. I've not been constructed to be a woman.
Okay.
And so when I try to give an answer to something that's problematic and what we see as a problem, that creates more problems. That's why it's problematic. That's why I don't stick my hand in the cookie jar, because I'm going to speak on, because again, I'm not constructed to be a woman. So that battle's for women.
So I'm guessing you're not jumping in that WAP conversation.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion about it, because at the end of the day, I'm in my own lane. You feel me? I'm minding my own business. But I understand where she's coming from, because I got women in my family. I know women that struggle with the body stuff. And once I get to know, like, I know a woman, and a lot of people probably going to contest it is, I know women that's on social media view, fine in the mud, bad.
Right.
You get to know them, bro. Them folks so insecure. But that's why it's problematic, and that's why I can't talk about that, because with that understanding, that's why I don't respond to it, bro, because that's not my place. I stay in my own lane.
Well, okay, bet. And ladies, I know you're gonna appreciate that answer he just gave.
That's just the truth.
And I appreciate his answer too. I think he answered it appropriately. I think he answered it genuinely. I think what he said is what he really feel. And I actually agree with him. I actually agree with him. Because again, what I try to emphasize when I talk about this, or when I talk about certain things, is that I'm not trying to be a woman. I'm not trying to speak for a woman.
Right.
But I understand that sometimes you can say that, state what you feel, and then it's still going to be said you're trying to make decisions for women.
Right.
So a lot of times they say the best thing is just not to say anything.
You hear me?
But this is my thing. When I come, I'm like, well, I'm going to have to just get that backlash when it comes to things in general, because this is back to what I was saying about, Demetrius, you got to make a decision.
Right.
Are you going to be a person who just sees something that's not right and speak out about it? Like, would you let your daughter be a stripper?
Again.
No, I'm not talking about when she's grown. She's free to do whatever she wants. Would you be okay with the idea of your daughter,
18-year-old, 19-year-old daughter being a stripper?
Yep.
I can't answer that with a yes or no due to understanding. Due to the fact, listen. I work mental health. You feel me? So, and I've had conversations with women that are strippers. And a lot of those women that strip, crazy as it sounds, it's the truth. And I'm telling you, you can get strippers on this show, and they'll tell you some of them have been abused, or some of them don't like being touched, but they want the money. That's like, get strippers on this show, and they're going to tell you either they've been touched, they don't like being touched, they've been sexually abused and haven't coped with it, or they just want the money. I'm telling you. And so, me as a man, me having women in my family, I ain't gonna say what I ain't and I am gonna do, because I ain't got no daughter in the first place. But I will give my daughter structure in terms of just knowledge and understanding. And if she makes that decision, and I've already prepared myself to love my child unconditionally, if she makes that decision, personally, I ain't gonna mess with it. But if that's how she want to express herself, brother, I'd rather have my child with me than against me. So,
have you been watching the Verses?
Nah, I don't even know what that is.
Dang, that's so surprising. That they for real. It's where Swiss Beats and Timbaland been having. You been seeing that Rick Ross and 2 Chainz went against each other? You have the top.
Oh, the Verses. Nah,
the Verses.
I ain't even been.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say his name, but one of the people who participated, he was one of the people who participated against somebody else in one of the Verses. He's been on the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, that boy got it.
I talked to him about. I talked to him about his battle and if he thought he won and everything. But something I asked him was about this question. I asked him the same question.
Right.
And he gave me like the best answer I've probably heard.
Right.
Which is literally, crazy enough, almost verbatim what you just said, bro. He just used different terminology. He literally said to me, he said, because I asked him I'm not going to say the question I asked him originally because it got like quite the response on social media already. So I'm going to just say, I asked him the first question about his idea of stripping.
Right.
Then when he answered it the way he answered, I was like, okay, so would you be okay with your daughter doing it? And he hesitated, and I was like, and he sat there and he goes, well, and for just so you can get a sense of the way where he's coming from with it, he lives in Atlanta.
Right. So that's a whole nother.
He's living in Atlanta, bro. So he tells me, he's like, this is what I'll say, Demetrius. When I raise my children, I raise them to give them, I want my children to be informed. That's the best way I've ever heard it put. And literally what he said, though, he put it the best way, but it's literally the same thing he said. He said, all of my children, I want them to be informed about anything they ever get themselves into. So once she's of age and she decides to make a decision, I just want her to be informed.
Right.
I don't want her to go into something not knowing what she's going into. I want her to be fully aware of the chances she's taking.
Exactly.
Of the backlash she could receive.
Exactly.
I want her to be aware of just all spectrums, not just the money part.
Exactly.
And if she's fully aware and she still makes that decision, I don't feel like I failed as a father because she's aware of what she's doing and she's informed.
Exactly.
And that was literally to end the podcast episode, bro. And I listened to him answer that question because I told him, whenever you talk to certain people, anybody could do this. But when you talk to like celebrities and stuff, and you want to like reach out to them to like do podcasts or come on your like TV show, like anybody you see on Hot 97 who's not a regular, they normally their publicist or somebody will reach out to ask that person to send them a list of questions before they come on, so they can know what they're talking about. And if it's certain things they don't want to talk about, they can tell you before they even get on wax.
Right.
He knew I was going to ask him that, but I literally had like 25, 30 things I wanted to talk to him about. Right. So we got through the whole podcast episode. So when we got to that, I caught him off guard. Right. I was like, man, I appreciate you for even responding, man. I appreciate you for agreeing to do my podcast. But I can't let you get away. And he was like, huh? And I was like, and I hit him with the question, and he responded. I thought I caught him off guard. Right. Even though he knew prior to the interview, we had been talking like an hour and a half. Right. I caught him off guard, and he still gave me the best answer I had ever heard, bro.
Yeah, that's real, though. That's real.
So I just love the answer. I appreciated the answer.
Yeah. But it just goes back to I'm in mental health and.
Bro, talk to me about that. Yeah. You told me that the other day, bro. Yeah. So you're training to be a counselor.
Yeah, so pretty much it's like between a therapist and a counselor. I'm like in between that because I can't diagnose someone and say you have this.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you can't prescribe medicine.
Right.
Prescribe medicine, okay.
Right. But I'm not also a school therapist counselor because I don't have to like when the school year end, like the school counseling end, like when school year end, like I still gotta go see the kids. Still.
Why counselor, Jacoby?
Why counselor?
Why counselor? Of all things you could have been, there's many ways to help.
Yeah, and that's true. But mental health just always been a thing for me, bro. And it really took self-reflection to realize how important it is. Because you got so many people battling so much stuff at one time that they don't even know, they're not aware of their own where their mental is at the time sometimes. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So I just got a knack for that type of stuff. I've studied it, I've learned it, I started reading on it and stuff like that.
What'd you go to UCA for?
Psychology.
Did I know that already?
Yeah, you knew that, G. Yeah, you knew that.
I think I did know that.
Yeah, we had to hold the conversation about it.
You so right.
Yeah.
Dang, bro.
Yeah, I went for psychology. Mine in philosophy. Philosophy is a good discipline as well. A lot of people don't understand that though. When you hear about it, like when they say like, yeah, you just studying like you talking about earth and not man, you talking about really the synthesis of psychology.
Right.
Psychology was created off of philosophy. It was just called scientific. Right. A lot of people don't understand that philosophy is scientific. You have to test a hypothesis. You have to put it out into the world, let people reflect on it, and you get to, you know what I'm saying, you got to have an objective. That's the same thing with psychology. Right. They go hand in hand. Yeah. If you know how to use it, you know what I'm saying.
That's crazy you brought that up, bro. Like I told you earlier, today is my first day of grad school at the Clinton School of Public Service in Little Rock, and the very first thing we had.
On that too, my boy.
Thank you. That's I appreciate it, bro. The very first thing we talked about today, we had to do this reading on research methods because you can't just be in the Clinton School of Public Service just so you can help people. You gotta, bro. We gonna get down to the nitty gritty of not just research methods, but we're gonna do a whole reflection of what a hypothesis is, what a thesis is, right. what does research actually mean? Yeah. And the ins and outs of quantitative. Qualitative methods.
I love quantitative,
bro.
By the way.
Doing all of that, I was getting reminded. My mind was just like, oh, I forgot about this. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I actually, now that we're talking about that, I actually thought of a theory about the way that they try to prevent people from testing COVID. I actually was thinking about like a theory and way of testing is the method they're using, the social distancing, the mask. and the Lysol. And
You've
is
thought
that
of them,
like a real scientific method to test to see if that is the most effective way from stop COVID from spreading? I really thought about that. I really wrote that down. On God.
recently?
Yeah, because again, man, I'm gonna wait till we say that, but you come back to it. We'll come back to it.
Okay. But yeah, man, I started today, so it's crazy you brought that up because I got reminded about all of that. But you, nah, man, because we at this point, bro, we basically just flowing, man. I started out the podcast talking about how crazy this year been, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like a ghost town, man. Yeah. It's like a ghost town, bro. At one point, it's a little bit better now, as far as like people getting out and about. But I done had a couple of friends I hadn't seen in months.
Right.
I got people I hadn't talked to.
Right.
Depression.
Yeah.
A lot of people are dealing with depression on an all-time high, bro.
Right.
Not just from the fact that they were out of a job or still out of a job, which that's enough.
Yeah.
But you dealing with depression from the idea that your family members may get sick.
Yeah.
You dealing with depression from the fact that you don't know what next year gonna look like, bro.
Yeah.
How are we gonna recover from this? How are we gonna recover from this? And what I was saying earlier was that I had all these people I knew about, and then I who the heck told me? I don't think I saw it on social media first. I think somebody told me. It may have been Ishma. I was talking to somebody, and it was like, yeah, it was Ishma. I was talking to Ishma because I told him, Ishma, my life, I told him, I said, it was somebody else I heard had gotten it. And I was like, yeah, such and such got it. And he was like, dang, bro. Or such and such was testing for it. They didn't know if they had it. Yeah. He was like, yeah, Jacoby got it, right? And I was like, and listen, y'all, for just to put this into perspective, this is closer to the time. This isn't in August. This didn't happen in July. This is not around the time when, like, we've been in the pandemic 5 months. You see what I'm saying? And people have had enough time really to go through the toughest part and really set their opinion on how they feel about the climate. Right. This is earlier on, bro. When we were thinking, like, if you got it, we don't, because again, by this point in time, bro, I knew somebody who had died from it. Yeah. My boss got it, and to this day, unless he about to tell me something different, to this day, my boss is still the sickest I've seen somebody get. I got a friend, I won't say her name, love her to death. I got a good friend. I worked at First Security Bank for 4 years. Y'all listen, I had a friend who couldn't go to work because she has a condition. Right. Sweetest person you'll ever meet in your life. She has a condition, so therefore she wasn't allowed to go to work. Right. According to the CDC guidelines, you are allowed to miss up to 10 weeks of work, but it has to be related to COVID. Right. You either have to have the coronavirus, or in her particular case, and she's the only person I knew who got away with, or not got away with, pretty much fell under these guidelines, because other than that, everybody else actually had the coronavirus. Right. But hers kind of fell under that umbrella too, because she didn't have the coronavirus, but because of her condition, her doctor wrote a note out that said, such and such cannot come to work unless everybody at the bank, not only working there, but also who comes into the bank, they gotta wear masks. Otherwise, that's not a chance I'm willing to take as her doctor, because if she gets it, the chances of her dying, I don't care what they saying the recovery rate is, 99.8, whatever they saying people recovering from this, I understand that. What I'm telling you is, she has a condition, she's had it since she was young. If she gets it, her chances are exponentially higher than everybody else's. Yeah. She's not like regular people. Yeah. She may look regular, she may act regular, but her condition puts her at a huge risk. My friend was out of work, bro, for 2.5 months, which is 10 weeks. 10 weeks. She was out of work for 10 weeks. She's allowed to miss work for that amount of time and get paid for it. The job has to pay you. Right. But after 10 weeks, they can release you. If you are not back to work by that point in time, they are allowed to release you. Things weren't better. We thinking, again, early on, we thinking this is something that's going to die over in a month, 2 months. Yeah. Here we are in August, and it's still here. My friend ended up losing her job. When I talk about how she went into deep depression, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Right. So many different ways people could be depressed in this climate, bro. Right. So when I heard about you, I reached out immediately.
Right, that's a fact.
I reached out immediately, bro.
Hey, shout out to, man, I'm gonna say this too. Man, I'm so awkward. Nah, I ain't gonna say awkward. I know I'm social than a mug, bro, but I don't like, I'm real private. Like, I don't like a lot of people in my business, but so many people reached out. And I really want to say thank y'all, bro. Like, I ain't gonna cap. Like, some people was nosy, but I can't weed through and try to find a bad apple.
Yep.
I had like that first day I posted. Only reason, shout out to my mama. I love and hate my mama, man. She the reason I told it. I even put it on social media because, man, my mama, you know how black mamas is, man. The doctor called her.
So, take me through this, bro.
Yeah.
Take me through this.
Yeah.
So, were you feeling straight? Was you feeling sick first?
Yeah.
Take me through the whole process. It's a regular day.
Right. So,
talk to me.
I'm going to say this, bro. I'm going to say I went to work like that. I woke up that Monday.
What month is this?
March.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that early.
It was like smack the coronavirus.
Well, I got a story for
you.
The
coronavirus was new. I think when I found out, like, the coronavirus ain't even been out a week. And I ain't got, again, back then, especially, like, when I was home, like, I'd go to work, go home. Like,
and this is in Little Rock?
Yeah. Okay. Like, I really didn't go out. I really wasn't going out, especially back then. I was just on my chill stuff, the mental,
Right.
And I woke up, went to work. I just woke up feeling bad, bro. And then...
What's bad? Headache? Stomach hurt? What?
You feel like, it's that feeling of, like, dang, bro, I'm sick. That's really what it is.
Okay.
Dang, something wrong. It's like,
okay.
Really just woke up. Then got off Friday, stayed in house Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Boom. Went Monday, you know what I'm saying, to work. Boom. We got a 101 temperature. And I work at a mental health hospital. That's essential, you know what I'm saying.
Anyway. Hey, shout out to Essential.
Shout out. I was so they sent me home. They told me I had to get tested before I can come back. Me being a person that, my pops, like my dudes would have told me, well, you better go take some third flu, woo, da. But I was younger. I told you I moved down here with my pops. Pops would be like, man, sweat it out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a disconnect to the whole situation. It's the fact that it's how I handle it. But we're gonna go back.
So your pops told you to sweat it out?
No. It's just primed. I was primed to think like that. That was primed.
Oh, that's a whole different conversation we need to freaking have. I've had that conversation. The same dude.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let you continue, bro. The same dude that I told you I talked to that live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't want to say his name. Literally something we talked about. Wasn't playing. What wasn't one of the questions I was supposed to ask him. Yeah. He talked about something. I asked him about mental health. Yeah. Actually, I'm sorry. It was a question I asked him. I said, do you think mental health is talked about and taken serious enough in the so-called black community? His answer was so eloquently put, but he talked about something I didn't think he was going to bring up, bro. He talked about how a lot of us don't want to go to the hospital. Why is that me? Why is that me?
I don't know, sir. Like,
never met this dude before, and he said his whole family like that. We don't want to go to the hospital. We don't trust people.
Yeah.
We and that dates back to slavery. It's like, it's crazy. We don't want to go to the hospital. It's like, we'll tough it out. Tough it out.
Yeah, that's true. But
tough it out.
My dude, and then your mama, so she the nurturer, she the realest protector.
Right.
She would have been like, taking me to I moved down with Pop, man, tough it out. But the method worked, and it worked over time. Like, say for instance, if I was to catch the cold, like a little cold or a little sinus, literally go put on a bunch of clothes, drink some orange juice, eat some some soup.
Yeah.
Turn on the heat, put the cover on me. Literally, like 6 hours later, I feel perfectly fine.
Yep. So it
happened over time.
In certain way. Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So tap back into
this year,
to tap back into today, or not today, when in March, when I waited 2 days to go get tested because I was like, man, I'm straight fool. Mind you, I was joking about the coronavirus.
Like Rudy Gobert.
Yeah,
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I
He
was
was
like
touching all the mics and stuff and playing around.
And man, on
You
God,
know, really
like,
having
man, on God, I told my boss, the supervisor, the CFO, not the CEO. I was like, man, like they was doing a little roundabout, telling us about how to do mandatory, and I was like, man, I hope I catch if I can just be out where I said that. I swear to God, I said that.
Dang.
Yeah, and so my first thing that I did, I immediately went home, did the same thing. Boom.
Yeah.
Felt fine. I'm talking about straight. Like that was Monday. I did the method when I did like when I was young. Boom.
Yep.
I felt completely fine. Temperature was like 97. But again, I called like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, we straight. Let me just go ahead and come back to work. She's like, nah, it's by law. I gotta go get tested. So went down that Wednesday. I just took that. I went Wednesday morning. I got tested, stuck the
right.
the little junk up.
And I heard they go down up to your brain.
Man,
does
I
it hurt?
Fired on that, man. I thought about firing. I didn't. I was just surprised that man. Anyways, my temperature was normal. My temperature was 97.6.
Okay,
respiratory
so you straight there.
Was fine.
Which is what's crazy because they thinking just taking people's temperatures is supposed to tell you people got the coronavirus and not. That does not work.
Hello, but yeah. So boom, I did that. Got tested. They say they're gonna call me. My what I messed up again was I said I gave them the wrong number, and I gave my mama number for that emergency contact. So that was Wednesdays. That Saturday, that I had to quarantine until that Saturday, they called my mama first. So what my mama did was they didn't tell her no information. They told them to call. Mama called me. My mama's a natural warrior, but she an OG. Love my mama to death. Shout out to my love. She was like, they called you. I think they got your test results back. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, bet. I'm thinking I'm straight. Like at this point, I'm chilling. I ain't got no temp, none of that. And then I called. It was like, yeah, you got coronavirus. And I was like, I wasn't even shocked. I was just like, dang, that's what I get for playing. You know what I'm saying? Because I Mr. Play too much. I play all the time. Once you get to know me, you know what I'm saying? And then, boom, I had the coronavirus for a month.
You had it for a month?
Yes.
I'm trying to think. Do people keep it that long?
Listen, in the midst of that, since March, I've had over, if I'm guesstimating, over probably 1,500 conversations about it.
1,500?
Yep. People reaching out.
Bro, that's love, bro.
I ain't gonna say it's love. Again, people scared. It's not all.
So people are reaching out just to get
it's a mix of. It's
okay,
a mix.
okay.
Some people being nosy. Some people reaching out. People I ain't talked to in years reaching out. You know what I'm saying? Trying to. So back into my mama, man. That's the reason I posted. I wasn't even gonna post it, but mom was like, "What my mama say?" My mama crazy in the mud, man. What she say? Yeah, go get your double rule. I told mama I had it. I tell you, not even 10 minutes later, my auntie called me. My uncle called me. My sister called me. I'm like, mama, man, come on. You know what I'm saying? So I just posted it because my dude's like, I love my mom's death, but man, my mama talk too much.
Yeah.
You know what
here.
I'm saying? So, I just posted. I wasn't going to post it. I really, when I say, again, I'm a private person, fool. I do not like people in my business. I posted just off the strength of that. And, at the time when I posted, I'm a critical thinker, so I didn't jump to emotional state.
Nice. Please repeat that.
I'm a critical thinker, so I didn't jump to an emotional state.
A lot of us got to do that.
You know what I'm saying? So
a lot of us got to do that.
That I was primed to do what I always did. Let me just go and kick back, and it just gonna go away. 2 weeks later, bro, I woke up like the little, I had the little chest, pains.
Yeah.
But they were smooth. But man, I'm OG. In my eye, you know what I'm saying? 2 weeks later, bro, I kid you not, 2 a.m, bro, I woke up. You know what I'm saying?
Breathe?
Hard to breathe. You hear me? And
so wait, are they not giving you anything for the coronavirus?
I don't know. I ain't got there.
Okay.
You gotta understand at this point in time, we had no information.
Yeah.
But we pretended as if we had all the information via the media. You know what I'm saying? So So they just told me go home, quarantine for the 14. After I didn't go to the hospital or nothing. And so now at this point, I'm still doing what I'm doing, but I added ibuprofen to the mix because somebody had reached. I think it was my.
So when you say when you say doing what you're doing, are you saying like
so this is
wrapped up in a cover, eating soup, drinking orange juice?
Yeah.
Okay.
I stopped really drinking I really stopped eating it. I started back eating regular foods because that 2 week in my mind being that. Like,
you straight now.
I'm straight, bro.
You quarantined for the 14 weeks. You did what they said to do.
I'm about to go back, man. I woke up, boom. And so I started doing ibuprofen. Remember this. I remember when I seen a post, like the social media. I was on, again, like everything straight. I seen on the post, it was like, ibuprofen is one of the leading causes for some of the people that's dying, because you gotta think when March and the COVID hit, people was dropping like flies, and they said ibuprofen was bad to take. Man, I was popping ibuprofens like.
Boy, this is my first time hearing that.
Yes. When I first got it, somebody reached out. They sent me the link, and it was somebody, I don't even know who sent it. I was like, what? I was scared in a mug because
so if you had to make a guess, bro, by that point in time, how many ibuprofens you think you had to take? Bro, ibuprofens are not good to take with the coronavirus.
But that was in March. They said that. I heard it on the news.
Bro, what?
Yes, I was in a state where I didn't understand what was going on.
Right.
So what I'm gonna do? Reach out to what I understand.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I'm like, man, I'm about to die. You know what I'm saying? Then it got to the point where I was taking ibuprofen and it still wasn't doing that. It got worse. It got worse. And then one moment, mind you,
when you saying it's getting worse, because
it was like,
Jacoby,
okay,
people gonna be listening
look.
to you talk about this, bro.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful. You can't say I'm about to die.
That's true.
When you
true.
say you about to die, bro, please.
That's
take
what
that
I
serious.
felt. That's what I felt.
How
like.
did you feel like that?
Okay, so at first,
dying is an extreme, bro.
Okay, let's well, I'll break it down like this, man. At first, the time between having the shortness of breaths was like 8 hours. At this point, yeah. Like,
wait, what you mean? You go
like, okay, so when I first found I had it, I wasn't having the breathing problems. That's on a Saturday I found out. That Tuesday, I having the breathing problems, and then they'll go away. 4 or 5 hours later, I had the breathing problems again. You know what I'm saying? And that's for like a week. The second week, they went from happening every 4 or 5 hours to having every 30 minutes to an hour. Feel what I'm saying? You catch on to that? Like, at first, the breathing problem was more spreaded.
Right.
But as I didn't do anything to prevent it, it got worse. And then it got to the point where I started throwing up and doodling on myself.
On yourself?
Yes. I was throwing, like, I tried to throw up and I started defecating. I did that like 4 times that morning. Called my auntie, because my auntie's a nurse practitioner. And I really thought I was about to die. I kid you not. I put that on my life. I thought I was about to die. And this was actually the day after Devontae had died too. That played a factor. So I was more than beyond scared. But
man,
listen,
rest in peace to that man.
Listen, and then on top of that, but you want to know what I was saying to the world? I'm straight. You know what I'm saying?
Which is why I'm sitting here so shocked right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching that response from you, and I'm like, just maybe because everybody isn't the same. Maybe he's one of those asymptomatic people. He has it. He feels normal, but they tell him he asymptomatic means, you're not showing any symptoms. You feel straight. I'm thinking he's asymptomatic. He feels fine just like us, but they say he got the corona, so he got to do his quarantining, and he's straight, which even in that state, even if you're asymptomatic, still reach out to that person, because just make sure they straight.
Right. And
make sure they mental straight.
And I'm going to say this, just because you're asymptomatic does not mean you don't have a stronger sense of the coronavirus. You have the coronavirus. Right. It's going to respond different to different people. Right. You know what I'm saying? And again, tapping into the conversations I had with over 1,500 people in the past since March to now. I see people.
That's a lot of people.
Still reach out to me about it. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. What was I saying? Like, that asymptomatic don't belittle them having the coronavirus, because
right. Don't think it's not as serious,
because that's what I thought. Like, I ain't really 97 point. I was like, boom, I'm straight. Like, I really thought I was straight, But it got to that point, went to the hospital. I was like, bro, I really thought I was about to die, like in the hospital, like, oh man.
See, this right here is what I'm talking about. This is a loophole in the system. Y'all, please explain to me. Hospitals, please explain to me. Businesses out there, please explain to me. Why is it that you all are just taking people's temperatures and that's it? If we know that asymptomatic is a thing.
Oh, and I got something to say about that.
If we know it's a thing, why are we just saying, but before you come in, make sure you wear a face mask. We're going to take your temp. Yeah. What does taking the temperature mean, bro?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. And listen, I'm no doctor. I'm no nurse. I haven't done a whole lot of research on this. So this could be true. This could not be true. But I've heard it one too many times from a multitude of people saying that the coronavirus or the COVID-19 particles are so much smaller than the holes in the face mask. The coronavirus particles are so much smaller than the holes in the face mask.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a bunch of questions. A bunch of people got a bunch of questions, but I want to know, bro, are the face masks even making a difference? Like, I really be like, I understand it can probably help, but
right,
man, I heard a few things about that. So if the face masks aren't really doing something, and they could be, I don't know, or at least certain types of face masks, like the regular average face mask some of us are wearing, they probably aren't even helping us or preventing us from getting it if it's in the air or if someone else we're talking to has it. And then if you can be asymptomatic and have a 97. Your temp is 97 degrees. Like, bro, you straight, right?
Yeah.
No, but you can still have a coronavirus.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it is my job, even when the stuff came on because of working mental health, it's a hospital.
Right.
We gotta follow those guidelines, man. We had to wear the mask. We had to Lysol everything. And this was before I had it. Or Carl found out I had it. So I was putting the mask on, Lysol and everything. You had to, because at my job, them folks watch them cameras, bro. Them folks watch them cameras.
They serious.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't just, I don't think the face mask and the social distancing is actually going to play its part, because you have people that are doing that and have been doing that for months and they still catch it.
Is this why you've come up with your hypothesis?
It's a lot more to it, because now that I'm out of that mind, like
that phase.
Now that I'm out of that, you know what I'm saying, that coronavirus like phase, you know what I'm saying, or that part, like I'm able to reflect on it and see my responses to certain things. One of the things that I do like about myself and what I did and what I tell a lot of people that had a coronavirus or have it, man, stay off the phone, bro. Stay off of social media. Do not pay attention to the media, fool, because they don't even know. Because you gotta understand,
you think they just hyping it up?
It's perspective, but the power is gonna be with the media because they're saying it, because everyone's watching it. You feel me? So you gotta understand. I've been into it with doctors about this. I've been into it with nurses about this, and if you look on the media, and especially if you type up the different perspectives about the coronavirus, you have nurses that agree with what they would say and what I would say. So a lot of people don't understand about research. They always tell us in research that it's not 100%. This is what it is.
Right.
That's why it's research. You have to be able to ask the important questions, not just any question.
Right. And you got to be able to pay attention to something else we talked about in class today. You got to pay attention not just to the thing that make you feel better about it.
Yeah.
Bro, you got to also pay attention to all the things that don't make you feel better about it. You got to weigh in everything. Yeah. You can't be biased, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's not research.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of takes away the whole purpose of research.
Right. Right.
Dang, so you went through a period when you felt like you were gonna die, bro.
Yeah. So boom. Yeah.
Are you in the hospital? Are you staying at home?
So boom, I went to the hospital, checked out the hospital. I'm back at the home. The moment I got out the hospital, I looked up information about the coronavirus.
You was in the hospital how long?
No. I don't even remember, G. I think probably like a day.
Okay.
And then I went home. I went to the crib. I started looking up the coronavirus and what it's about. And what I found out was it's an attack on the immune system.
All right.
So what I distinctly did after that is I started looking up how do you make your immune system healthier? How do you make your immune system stronger? And they gave me simple stuff: drinking water, drinking Pedialyte, doing steam treatments, drinking.
What's steam
herbal
treatment?
Like, just pretty much let steam go in your nose.
Oh,
That makes your immune system better. And then I even found sent me something that with orange pills.
yeah,
And
I
you
heard
put
about that.
and
Both
you
of those
put-
things are remedies I've heard of.
And
before, actually.
and those are that's pure remedies. That's not
Yeah.
the cure.
Right.
Those are just simple life remedies.
Yeah.
That's just like if I had not disrespect anybody. That's just like if I was to think I was about to get the diabetes, I would do preventative things to stop me from getting diabetes.
Right.
I wouldn't do stuff to continue to make me get diabetes because that's just gonna make my diabetes worse.
Right.
So what I did was I stopped putting my focus on the COVID and started trying to worry about immune. Literally 3 days later, bro, fine.
You think there's power in the way you think?
That's power in education, educating yourself on the way you think. That's
Okay.
not there's that's being able to think is a blessing and a curse. You can literally think yourself out of a situation that
Yep.
you are deserved to be in.
Yep.
But if you educate yourself on the way that you think, and you able to reflect on how you've thought about stuff in the past and how that affects you now, that makes a big difference. So it's not the power of thinking itself; it's just what you do with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, literally, I felt better after 3 days. Mind you, due to me having the coronavirus, the diarrhea, that really was the longer lasting effect.
How long did you have it?
Until March, April, May, like the end of May. Diarrhea.
March, April, May. You had diarrhea for 3 months, bro?
Yes. Yep.
I don't know if I heard that before. I
Diarrhea.
know people was getting the diarrhea, but
bro, that I had horrible diarrhea. Like it was horrible.
if you going on yourself, bro, I know it's bad.
Yeah.
Did you ever go on yourself like outside the house?
No.
Only at home.
I only at home. Again, I was at home for like a month.
Man.
I was at home for a month. So that's what I'm saying. The diarrhea was the worst part. And the chest pains. But also sleeping with a defibrillator. Those are just healthy habits. That's not the cure to coronavirus.
Yeah.
Those are just healthy habits. When I did that, I was like 245, 250. I weigh 204 now. I still practice those habits.
Whoa, hold on, bro.
I still practice those.
You
habits.
lost what, 45, 50 pounds?
Yep.
I have another friend. Won't say his name either. His wife got the coronavirus. Shout out to my boy. When you hear this, you'll know I'm talking about you. His wife got the coronavirus like 3 months ago, right?
Yeah.
He didn't tell me, Jacoby.
Yeah.
How I found out, I'm on the phone with him talking to him about something completely unrelated. And in order to respond to what I said, he brought up something. And it made me ask, and I was like, bro, we ain't kicked it in a minute, bro. I'm going to have to, whenever this stuff dies down, because again, this is early on.
Yeah.
We didn't know how serious this was and how long this pandemic was going to last.
Yeah.
I don't even think the first stimulus check had come out yet.
Yeah.
And I'm telling him, I'm like, man, whenever this dies down, bro, I have to come out there and see you, bro. See you and the family. He was like, yeah, bro, I like that, man. He was like, it's been crazy. And I was like, for real, what's going on? And then it's this long pause. And then he's like, yeah, man, so such and such. He told me his wife, he was like, yeah, so my wife had it, bro. And I was like, and again, this is early on. So I don't know how serious it is for a lot of people.
Yeah.
At least people in the hit, don't care what you say. It always hits different when it's somebody you know.
Yeah.
It always hits
do.
different when it's somebody you love.
It definitely do.
So I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm like, okay, so she had the coronavirus. How long has she had it? And he's like, Didi, to be honest, bro, she had it for like the last, I believe, month now. And I was like, okay, is she okay? And he's like, Dude, she better now, bro. But for like the last 3.5 weeks,
Yeah.
he was like,
can't eat.
I can't even lie to you, bro. Didi, I thought I was gonna lose my wife.
Yeah.
Hey, I've known him for 5-6 years. I've never in my entire life. Of course, he's talking about his wife, but I'm saying I don't care. Like he done been through some stuff since I've known him.
Yeah.
This dude ain't never talked like that before.
Yeah.
This dude was talking like he was about to break down and start crying. So he telling me that, and the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because he said, Didi, in my entire marriage, bro, he said I think he's 30, 31 now.
Yeah.
He said, bro, I'm 31 years old. I've been married since I was 19.
Yeah.
He said I ain't never been this stressed out before in my life.
Yeah, it's stressful.
He
Imagine
said,
how she
bro,
was feeling.
he lost 60 pounds.
Yeah.
He'll probably correct me if the number ain't right. He lost like 60 pounds. Now, if you don't know a lot about weight, which in my case, I know a little bit about it, but I don't really know how it affects the body.
Yeah.
You'll hear 60 pounds like, man, he lost 60 pounds.
Yeah.
But when you see him and you see 60 pounds off of somebody, it's a crazy difference, bro. When I saw him, I was like, I didn't know if I was supposed to be happy or sad that he had been so stressed.
Yeah.
He ain't even had a coronavirus. His wife had it.
Yeah.
He was so stressed that he lost 60 pounds. I'm thinking he just talking.
Yeah.
What people say, I think he just capping, bro.
Yeah.
He ain't lost no whole 60 pounds. Nope. Saw him in person. I was like, I forgot that he had told me he lost the weight. I'm just thinking I'm ready to talk to him about his wife.
Yeah.
They out there fishing. I pull up in my mail and I get out the car and I'm like, I literally walked past him. I didn't know where he was.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, my boy here. And I turned around, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Got a whole new wardrobe, bro. He lost 60 pounds over this.
Yeah.
Yo, the virus is real, bro.
Yeah. And another
The virus
thing,
is real, bro.
Another thing, man, what I did was I protected my mental health. When I say I stayed off of social media, fool. I talked to my loved ones, but I also isolated myself from my loved ones because they probably would have stressed me out. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They probably would have made it not worse, but they would
blowing
just put
stuff
that,
out of them.
yeah, they would just put some stuff in my mind that I didn't need, man. When I say I was listening, man, I was bumping, fool, like bumping, like it was really a good time. At the same time, when I found out about the remedies and I started doing that, taking the showers every 2 hours, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. It's so many things I've done, but one thing I made sure I did was
cold showers. Hot showers?
Yeah.
Every 2 hours? I did it every
2 hours. I did it every 2 hours.
Jacoby, this is the first time I'm hearing about a few of these things that anybody's tried having the coronavirus.
I
bro.
did the herbal tea smooth. The herbal tea smooth.
Of course.
The steam
Undefeated. They
too.
undefeated.
And
bro.
then you gotta understand that when you doing it, man, the pain's gonna be there, but they're just slowly going away. You gotta fight off the infection.
Right.
Just like you have to fight off the flu. Like you gotta fight off the flu. It's just like the flu. If I was to get the flu and I don't do anything about it, it would have got worse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just like with the coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? So I just did I try to surround myself and do healthy habits. Like it was a point in time I didn't eat for like a week. Like I could not eat nothing. I'm talking about I couldn't even stand to eat crackers. Like, ugh. So I just got some Pediasures to make sure I feed the appetite. And I tried to eat no yogurt or something like that. But that made me boom. And then when I got over it, like after that, I'm telling you, fool, like if I knew that information then, 2 weeks prior, that probably wouldn't even lasted that long. That's what I think. If I would have treated my immune system rather than worrying about me having COVID, what I'm gonna do, I probably would have been so much better, and I probably would have got rid of it way faster. Like,
dang, bro.
For real. Good healthy habits.
If you had been educated on
the
topic.
Yeah, if I had been educated on the topic of COVID, did my research on COVID, and known that it affected the immune system, thus making me go say, look up stuff to help me with my immune system, I probably would have defeated that faster. These are, and to me, I'm not saying this for everybody, you know what I'm saying? If a lot of people spent more time and effort worrying about their immunity, drinking the waters, doing the little herbal teas, especially around this time.
Yep.
we wouldn't need social distancing. But that's just what I
Fact.
think.
No, that is a fact. That's not being talked about enough, and there's a reason for that. What you eat, what you put in your body, I get it. It's cliche. People don't like to hear it because they want to eat what they want. They want to do what they do. Oh, you're another one of those who want to tell other people how to eat. No, bro, listen to me. Especially during a freaking pandemic. Listen, what you eat and what you put in your body now, not once you get the coronavirus. Yes, that matters too. I'm saying before. Yeah. It matters. Yeah. Vlad, I don't know if you watch any of Vlad TV interviews. Vlad, the rapper Scarface.
Yeah, he had it.
I had it. He's on dialysis or something because of it. It got that bad.
Yeah. He said
Scarface and Vlad are good friends.
Yeah.
This Fred the Godson, I didn't know his music.
Dude from New York, ain't it?
Kid from New York, heavier set guy from New York, did music. Yeah, I wasn't really familiar with this music, but I knew of him. Yeah. He's passed.
Yeah, due to
the coronavirus. They're saying. Vlad knew this person. Vlad talking to, I don't know who he talking to. He talking to Godfrey or D.L. Hughley. He talking to somebody in one of his interviews. Maybe Akon. I think he was maybe telling Akon this here recently. Which, by the way, Akon made some. That's a whole nother conversation. He tells him, he's like, they're talking about the coronavirus. He was like, man, I won't even lie to you. In the last month, I think he said he lost like 13 pounds or something because he was like, if nothing's ever convinced me to change my diet, he's like, I don't eat. He's like, I still eat meat. I eat steak here and there. But when I say I've cut back, he's like, man, it's a lot of stuff I don't eat anymore. A lot of stuff I'm not drinking solely due to the fact that what they're saying, he's like, people can say what they want about these conspiracies, but the facts are the doctors are saying that once people get the coronavirus, a lot of times the ones who are dying or being in critical conditions, more so than others, have a lot to do with their pre-existing conditions and their health. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? Vlad, like, I've been taking care of myself. I know I got a little bit of a gut on me. I'm a little bit bigger. I'm not fat, but I got a little bit of weight on me. He said, man, when I look down, I'm starting to see my feet now. He's like, I'm losing my belly and everything because if I get it, I have a better chance of, I don't want to say surviving it, which you do too, but he has a better chance of just having a better time with it, if you will. Yeah. Because he's taking care of himself now. Yeah. And then I cut you off, but you were talking about how you more than anything else, you took care of your mental.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like that's an important thing, is that mental, but also those little healthy habits. Like, those little healthy habits make a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that is what's going to cure the coronavirus. I'm not saying it. All I'm saying is, if I spent all that time doing nothing, those 2 weeks doing nothing, I did those remedies for 3 days on a consistent basis, and I literally felt way better within that time frame.
Dang.
So if I would have, so on a research standpoint, that's going to say, testing that question, if I would have did that in the beginning, would that affected my whole coronavirus experience? You know? And so what I use was my synthesis was the flu, because they say coronavirus is flu-like. And so my hypothesis on testing the social distancing, the face mask, and the Lysoling is using the flu, because again, in order to understand how human nature works, what do they use? They use monkeys. Monkeys, are like 96% human-like, right? And so that's where they get the research from. Right. So COVID, flu-like, they ain't the same. And so what I would say is, I would put 20 people in one building, a long hallway per se, put 20 rooms in there. I would inject one person with the flu, closest to the coronavirus, and I would tell everybody to go in their rooms for 2 weeks.
So just for everybody that's listening, make sure I understand. You're going to take this long hallway, 20 different rooms, right? One person in each room. Right. One of those people are going to have the flu.
Right.
Okay. Nobody else has the flu.
Nobody has the flu.
Okay.
And I would tell them, go in there, Lysol, social distance, and wear your mask for 14 days, come back out. if I was to be in a job situation and I had the flu and I didn't get tested for it, nor did I do something for it, can I pass that on? Ain't the flu, ain't that a passable disease?
Wait, say it again. If you what?
If I had the flu,
okay,
and I went to work,
okay,
wouldn't I be contagious?
You're exposing other people.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So, mind you, we tell everybody go in there, quarantine, Lysol everything down, wear your mask, you know what I'm saying, social distance, but then we come back together. The 20 people in the hallway come back together that meet in the hallway. Boom. That's already passed down because flu is contagious, right? We say the coronavirus is contagious, right? So that's already passed down. Now 3 people have it.
You take a person who has the flu. You got 19 other people in their rooms.
Right.
Everybody quarantines for 14 days. Right. Lysol, do everything you're supposed to do in your room.
Right.
When you come back out, you're saying once they come back out, that one person with the flu is still exposing everybody else? Exactly. Are you saying that because they would still have the flu?
Yes, because what did they do to treat the flu?
Okay.
What did they do to treat the flu? And so, boom, it's a spike in the numbers. Everybody go back in that room, repeat the same method. Come back out. Now 7 people have it.
Right. So it's not really solving anything.
Exactly.
So what are you suggesting?
The objection to that is, boom, what is a common thing that people use to get rid of the flu? You can they give you antibodies, but just per what is something else that somebody can use? Because you don't have to have antibodies to beat the flu. You don't have to go to the you don't have to go to the doctor to get treated to treat the flu. You can literally treat the flu by taking remedies, right?
Right.
So on the opposing side, let's say I give someone the remedies. We inject one person with the flu, right? Just like in the original experiment, because you got to test the hypothesis. You give the person remedies and you tell everybody to go quarantine for 14 days. What do you think gonna happen?
Nobody else is gonna get the flu, and then one person with the flu will feel better. Yep. And you think the problem is people are just quarantining because what I'm asking you is, what are you suggesting people do? As someone who had the coronavirus, what are you suggesting people do? Do what you did? Because the TV isn't telling us.
Exactly.
They're just telling us to
treat your
quarantine.
immune. You have to treat the immune in order to get better, period.
Yep.
Regardless, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor.
But you're somebody who experienced it, you say what you want out there. Yeah. When you experience something, that's kind of the best. That's kind of the best perspective to come from.
Yeah,
you can be educated on it, but if you
that's
lived
just like if you work mental health and you've never been through nothing.
Talk that talk. You can't help me. You can't understand.
What can I give you? Truly, right. I can say what sound good, but at the end of the day, how can I really help you understand you, or help you get to the point where you need to be?
Right.
You feel me? So, from experience, I say that those remedies, the constantly drinking water, was the best teacher. And I think to this day, and I'm standing behind this regardless of anybody say fool, if I would have did that in the beginning, I wouldn't even got that far.
Do you think you would have still had diarrhea? Maybe, but not as long?
I think I would have still had diarrhea.
For 2.5 months?
Not 2.5 months.
Bro, that's a long time to have diarrhea, bro. Did you talk to somebody about that? Did you go see somebody?
Yeah. I had to go. I went back to Dr. Cover's house about that. But that's when they had, at that time, this was like, what, March, April. This is around the end of April that they came out with new research saying that now diarrhea is part of the coronavirus affection.
Oh, that wasn't an initial thing they said?
No, that was not the initial thing they said. Just like ibuprofen became one of the things that helps the coronavirus now.
What?
Yep. When I first got the coronavirus, bro, they were saying you do not supposed to take the ibuprofen.
They as in the people around you telling you that, or you seeing this on TV somewhere?
I seen it on TV, and the people telling me this. I'm like, oh. I was so scared, man. I was so scared, fool. Like, I swear to God, I thought I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. Didn't nobody else around me understand it for what it was. So who am I gonna listen to?
All right,
you feel what I'm saying? So it just created a fear.
So, about 2 years ago, bro, I decided 2 years ago, a year and a half ago now, I decided that I was going to go vegan.
Right.
Before that point in time,
I want to try that food.
You should. Before that point in time, bro, ain't small off like anything else. Start off with small pieces, bro. Go vegan for 2 days, eat meat again. Go vegan for 3 days and eat meat again. But what's gonna happen is when you do that, you gonna not eat meat for 2 or 3 days, and you're gonna be craving it. You're gonna eat it. You're gonna go 2 or 3 days without eating meat again. You're gonna crave it, but not as much. And then you're gonna go 2 or 3 days without eating meat again. And then you're not gonna feel good when you eat that meat again. You be like, what's wrong with my body? It's because your body keep trying to rid itself of the because all meat you can have grass-fed beef, grass-fed chicken, you can. So healthier meat, if you will.
Right.
But your body is trying to rid itself of all the meat that you've eaten over your 20-some years on this planet.
Yeah.
That's literally a part of your body now.
Yeah.
And your makeup now, because we've ate so much meat, right?
A lot of people don't understand that.
People don't understand it. People ain't trying to hear that.
Dualism, that's a real thing, fam.
Come on, bro.
That's a real thing.
And what happened is your body is like, oh, okay, I think I get the pattern here.
Yeah.
You trying to get rid of this, but you keep bringing it back.
Right.
And then before your body gonna do what your body do, which is gonna react like, all right, make up your mind.
Yeah.
Either you gonna be eating this or you not.
Yeah.
You gonna stay here or you not.
Yeah.
Like you need to let me know what we doing, because if we gonna rid this meat, man, don't make me work too hard.
Yeah,
don't have me to start ridding this, and then you put the beef or you put the chicken back in me. What we doing? It's like your body talking to you. So
that's true, and people don't understand that that's real.
On my life.
That's real.
On my life. So a year and a half ago, I decided to go vegan. But before I went vegan, Jacoby, I had already like a year and a half ago, I decided to go vegan. About 3.5 years ago, I decided to stop eating pork. Pork was the first thing. It was about closer to 4 years ago now. I stopped eating pork.
So you don't eat it now?
No, I don't eat no meat now. I haven't ate meat in a year and a half.
I need to do that.
But hear what I'm saying though. 4 years ago, I decided to stop eating pork.
Yeah.
And I should say 4 years for beef too, but it was like 2 or 3 months if I'm being honest. 2 or 3 months after I stopped eating pork, I said I'm gonna give beef a try. And I'm gonna toot my horn a little bit. I was working at a freaking restaurant at the time. I was working in Marketplace, in the kitchen. So I'm cooking the food. I'm cooking these steaks and all of this. So boom, I cut that out. And it's the reason why I'm telling you this. So I cut that out. Pork and beef cut out. Here we are 2 years later, or a year and a half later. I said, yeah, a year and a half later, I'm eating chicken and turkey. That's all I eat. So when I go to old Chicago, when I go out, I can eat half the stuff everybody else eating, but I can eat chicken and turkey. If it got chicken and turkey on it, I'll eat it. Oh yeah, and I don't eat anything fried. So if it's fried chicken, I'm not touching it.
Right.
But if it's baked chicken, grilled chicken, I'll eat it.
So you still eat baked chicken and stuff like that?
Currently, no. I'm saying at the time.
Okay.
This was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I'm still eating chicken and turkey. I cut out pork and beef. Cut out pork and beef 4 years ago. A year and a half after that, chicken and turkey is the only thing I've been eating. I made a decision right before I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And that's, I don't know why I decided to do it then. When I'm finna go on an 18-hour drive to New Mexico. When I need food. I decided I'm going to do it. Nope, I'm not going to think about it. I'm going to do it. Like I cliff jumped yesterday too. I recorded that. I jumped off a cliff into the water. Terrifying for me. Can't think about it, just do it. Then think about it. I cut out chicken and turkey. That was almost 2 years ago. I haven't eaten any meat in 2 years. I haven't eaten any pork in 4 years. I haven't ate any beef in 4 years. For the most part, I've slipped up here and there and had some cheese. I don't eat no dairy. I stopped drinking milk. I don't drink any milk ever. I don't drink any milk. I stopped drinking milk. If you don't cut out no meat, all right? If anybody's listening, please cut out milk. If you understood, just do your research. You don't need to listen to Demetrius. I don't know everything. I don't think I know everything.
Right.
Go to YouTube. All right, your phone, not mine. Go to your phone, wherever you at home, in the comfort of your home. Google milk and why milk is not good for the body. Google what milk does to the body. So, anyways, I cut all this stuff out. The end of January of this year, March of this year, I'm working at the bank, and it was right before I left the bank. And I was getting ready to put in my like 2 weeks notice, so I'm getting ready to leave the bank. And I come home one day, and like anything else, when I'm not feeling well, bro, because I don't ever get sick, which is why I'm telling you about my diet. I don't ever get sick because I take care of my body for the most part. I don't exercise the way I need to. I go running, but I don't hit the gym like I need to, which is something I need to get better at for sure.
Yeah.
But for as far as eating, I've been top notch with eating for years.
Yeah.
So I take care of my body. I don't get sick very often. I don't get headaches very often. And late January, early February come around, and I'm not feeling well. And my head was hurting. My stomach was hurting. It was weird. 3 days go by. I'm laying in the bed one night, and I'm like getting stomach pains in my sleep. And because of the conversation, y'all should already know where I'm going with this. But just try to live in this moment with me for a sec. I didn't say in March. I'm talking about the end of January, the beginning of February. I'm laying in the bed. Once again, it's like the 4th day in a row. And again, whenever I don't feel well, because I know I don't really get sick like that, I overthink it. I underthink it. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to feel better. Cool. 4 days later, it stood out to me. I'm laying in bed again, my stomach hurting, and I raised up. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I raised up, so I'm just sitting in my bed, and I'm like, why don't I? Something ain't right. Like, this is 4 days in a row. I don't ever just not feel good for that long period of time.
Yeah.
Get up, I go to work, and I'm sitting at work, and I get this throbbing headache. My throat is hurting. My stomach is hurting. Now I know something not right.
Right.
Something not right. So, I go to the store, which is one of the weirdest feelings ever because I don't ever go to the store to buy medicine. I was like, I'm literally about to go in the store and go to the medicine section. I don't even believe in taking medicine for the most part. I don't want to put that stuff in my body. I understand that it can help you feel better, but I'm also under the belief that some of that medicine is not always designed to help you. It's designed to hurt you too. Right. But that's a whole nother conversation. And that's not a conspiracy theory. I'm just talking about as far as how the body works, because the body's designed to heal itself. So I go to the store, because now it's been a week. I'm not feeling well for a week. And I've even mentioned it at this point in time to like a couple of people. Like, it's weird, bro. I don't feel well. I don't know. Like, my stomach's hurting. I keep feeling like I'm getting an urge to throw up. I don't know what's wrong. I go buy the medicine. I bought I didn't even know what to buy because I don't ever get sick. So I had to call people and ask, what do I buy if this is happening to me? If I'm not feeling well? Buy this. I had diarrhea as well. Go buy the medicine. I think I bought some type of NyQuil or something. It listed out all the symptoms that I was dealing with. Cool. And I buy this medicine. I'm thinking I'm gonna use a spoon or two, and I'm gonna be straight. Take a spoon of it. 4 hours later, I'm gonna take another spoon. By the end of the day, I'm gonna be straight. I know how my body works. Okay. The whole bottle later, I finished the whole bottle, and I was not feeling normal again. I was feeling better, but I wasn't feeling normal again. I go to work, and I'm like, bro, and I'm kind of embarrassed because I take pride. I not only tell people that, I'm not just I didn't decide to go vegan just to go vegan.
Right.
But it's a healthier lifestyle, and I'm trying to break this cycle of, I grew up watching my family complain about the health. You get to a certain age, you're dealing with heart disease, high blood pressure, and nobody can understand why. Oh, it just runs in the family. How it run in the family, and you want to just settle to the fact that it runs in the family, but you still eating chitlins. You putting all this salt in your food, all this sugar in your green, your beans and cornbread. You eating all this food that's high in sodium and salt. But we just gonna say it runs in the family. Bro, it's about what you eat. We don't drink water. We drinking juice and popping Kool-Aid. I stopped drinking sodas 11 years ago. A long time ago. I'm embarrassed because I know my diet, bro. And I know the discipline and the sacrifices I've made.
Yeah.
And I've been preaching to people, not just that I eat right, but the benefit of eating right is that I don't get sick like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever say I don't ever get sick because then I slip up and don't feel well because I'm human and things can happen. And people be like, see, it ain't about that. I'm not a superhero. I'm saying the fact that I eat right and take care of my body the way I should, for the most part, it gives me a higher chance, right, of not being prone to disease, not being prone to certain things that can happen to the body, that's defective to the body. Yeah. So when it's happening to me, it's a little bit of an embarrassment. I'm feeling like I ain't got the freaking answer. Like, I know what I mean, right? Nobody's sick around me. Yeah. Why the heck I'm sneezing, nose running? It took me about 3 weeks to feel better, y'all. 3 weeks. Here we are a month and a half later. This thing called the coronavirus comes around. COVID-19 comes around. Yeah. And remember, like we talked about early on, it was just something people were talking about. Yeah. Something a lot of us didn't take serious. And then out of nowhere, about a month and a half into the epidemic that turned into a pandemic, I was sitting at the crib and it struck me like a volleyball, like hit me in the face, bro. Like it just hit me. I think I had the coronavirus already, bro.
People already had it. They just don't know they had it.
On my life, I think I had the coronavirus back in January.
I know people that probably had it back in December. I think I know people that died from it that don't even know that.
Don't even know it? Wait, you know people that died last year?
I don't want to talk about it, man, because it ain't mine.
Yep.
But I think that's what it was.
Dang.
Now that I done paid, I didn't, me and you, since we already had that small sense of like how you do research.
Right.
It's about that reliable source. You know what I'm saying? That makes a big difference.
Yep. That
reliable source, like, and when I did my research on that, I was like, yeah, I think it's.
And for those of you out there who don't quite understand what it means to do research, because a lot of you probably already do, but research isn't going out and asking a bunch of people questions. Yeah. That's not what research is. All right. Yeah. Just talking to other people and getting people's opinions.
That's a fact.
Isn't a research. Yeah. All right. It's a whole. It's like a systematic infrastructure you got to go by.
Yeah, and don't forget the folks got to know about the limitations when it comes to research. That's why our research isn't reliable in certain situations.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand that about research. A lot of people don't understand that there's it's the 40% deviance.
Yeah.
And that 36% is the only, if it's 36%, that means that's significant. That means it made it because it's significant enough to have a cause and effect.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that. And a lot of people don't know the biases in population testing. Like when you test the population, they don't know the biases within that. A lot of people don't know how to weed out good information. And I feel like a lot of people need to be more educated on that.
Especially in a time like what we're in right now, bro.
In the day and age of information. Because there's, to every one real information, there's probably 30 information.
Talk that talk.
You know what I'm saying? And you're going to have more support on the BS.
Right. You going for every truth you find, bro, you can find somebody who claiming that it's research.
That's a fact.
30 times over.
And you learn in science, biology, that you could be right 1,000,000 times, and it takes one time to make those million.
So you might want to think real hard, long and hard, before you want to go into certain professions, bro. Because research, it can take somebody 20 years, bro.
Yeah.
20, 30 years to research one thing.
Yes, that's a fact.
So that's why I say you got to be careful with that, which brings me to my next topic, bro. Yo, and the shout out for this episode is going to go towards a book that I actually just recently finished called No Disrespect by Sister Souljah. No Disrespect by Sister Souljah. This is a book I recommend anybody read. I love this book so much. It is definitely one of my favorite books of all time. It is brilliantly written. I love her perspective. And Cornel West quoted the book as saying, or quoted the author as saying, Sister Souljah is one of the most eloquent and articulate spokespersons of her generation. Listen to her courageous and painful words in this book. Words by the Mr. Great Cornel West. I'm looking forward to reaching out to Sister Souljah. I really love to have her on the podcast. I love this book so much. Very little times have I read a book, and I've read a ton of books that are great books, but very little times will I finish a book and I hold on to it like, I'm going to read this again. This is probably the first book I've ever finished that's made me feel that way. No Disrespect by Sister Soldier. Go check it out.